Give me 1 second. This is going to be a virtual stars tutorial on Cookunia. Almost forgot what I was supposed to say. But yeah, it's a tutorial for Cookunia. Now, it is one of my favorite areas in the game because it is where on the, how should I say it? In the game, or, well, in the speedrun, you tend to spend the most time here. Now, as you're about to see, it is going to be quite the long one. I'm going to say it's probably going to be about 20 or so minutes, but we will indeed see. So, first things first, let us get back into the game. Not new game. No, not new game. Oh, not new game. Hold on, give me 1 second. It's already turning out fantastic. I'm so used to speedrunning the actual game that I completely forgot where I was supposed to be. Anyways, after we skip all these cutscenes, I guess it'll be a returning thing, we are going to proceed to Cookunia, which is, as I've said before, one of the longest areas in the game. Not in terms of content, but in terms of speedrun potential, since for about 50%, not 50%, but about 25 to 30% of the run, you will be here cube grinding, emote sphere grinding, jumping around, doing whatever. So, no, we will not save. But what I will do is, as soon as I get the chance, in a couple of cutscenes, I will load the save that I told you I would be saving at the beginning of the original, or at the beginning, or at the end of the last video. My goodness, I cannot speak today. So, now we get through this. We're gonna go here. We're gonna go to System Load. It's gonna take a little bit. And we are going to continue from where we left off. So I'll give it about 5 seconds to refresh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We should be back. So as you see, we are level 8. We are as we should. We have the same cubes that we did before on Noir, because of the fact that Noir has a lot of attacks so far. Those are the only 5 cubes I have. But if you feel like you do not have enough attack, you can go to, I believe, the maintenance area in YouTube to go grab possibly peanuts and such, but it's not really worth it. But, fun fact, this is one of the only areas in the game where it turns 60 FPS, as you'll see in just a second. So you see how it's all like 30 FPS and whatever. When you do that, it turns smooth for some reason. I don't understand why. It's the only portion in the game it turns 60 FPS. It's like a fun fact that I just learned. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever, but we will move on to Cookunia, 60 FPS. Well, game's 30. I don't know what the game runs at. I feel like it runs at 30 because the other portion was very fast. So as you see, it's not too hard. There's not many puzzles here. There isn't really many puzzles in the game. The only puzzles really are, I believe, Gaminion, which I was, not Gaminion. Gaminion's sort of a puzzle, but the real puzzle is, what was its name? Owando, or Obsoleta. So as you've seen, I tend to get this cube, no matter what, just because it can have like a 4 or a 5. This one right here, I believe the 5 is stronger? No, it's the same one. So never mind. Ignore that. But usually it comes out as a really good cube, sometimes it comes out bad, but again, those little, I think, of refresh boxes, let's see what I call them. I should have a reload. It is called an SS box, so a special box. So that special box will refresh every time you use that, but SS boxes aren't used too often. I only do it if I need to fix it. But this is a portion where you use the live feature. Now the live feature is just something where you press square repeatedly over and over and over again to get emotes here. Now these are the main way you level up in the game. As you see on the left, it does say you leveled up, but unfortunately the EXP, there's no EXP overlay at all. The only way you see an EXP is if you click start and you go to status, and that's when you see how much EXP you have left. But the enemies don't have EXP above them, or say how much EXP they give. You just have to arbitrarily guess to see if you're level 9 or level 10 or whatever. So, it's very arbitrary. I'm sad about that, but hey, whatever. We do as we do. But first things first, I'm going to explain how to platform correctly. Well, not correctly, but the fastest way. So you see the CPUs, they have 2 dash jumps. The VTubers have 2 dash jumps. So what you want to do is when you dash, you jump, switch, double dash, and then across these orange slices, you want to sort of dash as much as possible with the VTubers, since later on I'll show you with the macaroons, it does tend to get very difficult with the CPUs themselves. Let's see, hold on. Ooh, is that a good one? Is that a good cube? It is not. See, this is an example of a cube that you want to stuff on a character that you have to the side. So like Blanc or even Vert at this point. Vert's not even using the run at all, so she's probably the one that you want to throw all of your bad cubes onto, but give life. So if you the main portion for cubes is you want to focus on ones that have high attack that go on either Neptune or Noir. Blanc for very end game if you get completely stuck with attack under 400, and Vert for, well, just life, because what happens is the CPU's life is transferred between all 4 characters. For VTubers, it's transferred just through themselves, like for the single character. While the goddesses do transfer life between each character. So that's why they're able to have multiple, like, basically they can have up to 30 life, which is kind of ridiculous. But it's one of the ways that I sort of mitigate the fact that if I get a bad cube but it has high life, that's what I tend to throw it on. I tend to throw it on a character I'm not using at the moment. I'll have to get that better menued, but see, this is an example right here. So you see these wafers, or whatever they're called. I think they're sandwiches. I have no idea. Those are macaroons on the side. But as you see, for CPUs, it's very slow getting across, because even if you dash at the end portion. While with the VTubers, you can just dash over very, very easily. And it's a lot faster than having to go around with the CPUs. And we grab this SS box as well. Let's see what we get. Motherly Illheart. Please be a lot of attack. That's the only thing. Is it a lot of attack? It is 3 attack and it gives 2. Not really. I was gonna say it was good, but no, it only gives 3 attack. Which I don't understand. If it's a special cube, it should give a ton of attack. No matter what value it is, it should give you a ton of attack. Now, this is one enemy I hate in this game completely. Like, 100% completely I hate it. So, there's a little thing in the community so far that is called Garter RNG. Now, Garter RNG is that this Garter can guard whatever he wants. Whatever he so feels. So, unfortunately, you can get it 4 times, you can get it 5 times, maybe even 6 or even 7 times. You just have no choice when he chooses to guard, which is very, very unfortunate, especially if you're doing it in a speedrun setting. But right now, he hasn't... I shouldn't speak, should I? I should never speak, because when you say Garter RNG does come into you. Because unfortunately, as you can see, he doesn't have too much... What is it? There's no way you can actually get through his guard. The only way is if you wait for him to release his guard, because he's completely invulnerable without it. Or it's completely invulnerable with it, excuse me. So it's not very possible to get the Garter RNG to go your way. You just have to roll with it, like the cubes. You just have to roll with it. Again, you can reset through the other ones, but you cannot reset through Garter RNG. It is technically impossible. So again, you got more of this platforming section. Now you got these macaroons. You go over there, there's, I believe, some enemies that you can get to. And over here is an extra cube. I don't usually do that one, but you can if you want to get an extra cube. But here's the platforming in action, like the real platforming where you use the VTubers to sort of dash through. I did that 3 times in the run. I'm ashamed of myself. But as you can see, VTubers are much better on pushing through the macaroons than the CPUs. Because the CPUs, you have to dash, you have to double jump, you have to dash, you have to double jump, you have to dash, you have to double jump. See, you even fall through. and I went the completely wrong way. But as you can see, CPUs are not suited for these platforming sections. So that's why they have the VTubers, where you can dash through very, very easily. And then you switch to the CPUs on the ground, and you use the stomp trick, or stomp trick? I feel like calling it a goddess dash cancel, but that's like too simple. I want to call it like the dash cut, or the goddess cut, I don't know, something like that. I mean, Noir does use your rapier in the original game, but instead of going straight over, which it looks like it intends you to go straight over, you're actually supposed to fall down to this section to go find the switch. Now, in my first playthrough, I got completely confused on where I was supposed to go, but now that I've been speedrunning for just a little bit, it sort of gets to me sometimes. I've actually failed it once and I had to go back for it, but as you can see, it's not too difficult to just fall down, grab the switch. Like, all the dungeons are very simple in this game, especially Cookunia's, where it's more platforming. It's probably one of the more difficult ones. I'd put it up there with, I think ranking would be Owandle, Dominion, then Cookunia. Because Cookunia, as much as it looks daunting, and it is like the area after this, it's not actually daunting at all in terms of like puzzle, because you just run around. There's barely any platforming that you need to do. But here you have to platform, and it's like one of the only, I think, 2 areas in the game where you can actually fall and fall to your death, and it wastes time, unfortunately. So as you've seen, just dashing through with the VTubers very, very fast. Like, this is the best platforming way, even in Novella. Like, I don't know why they decided to make the CPUs be like, oh, you can't dash to the side or even dash in the air. You have to, like, dash on the ground. While for the VTubers, you just have to jump. Maybe they realized that for the VTubers, they wouldn't be too enticing because they have this, like, Muso battle style, while the CPUs have sort of this shooting style that you can just strike around. But I digress. Anyways, we are at the boss. Now, the boss does require a certain amount of attack to damage sufficiently. I believe 100 would be sufficient. Like 80, 100. So 88 seems fine. I know 100 would be ideal, but we're running a hypothetical run, so I'm not going to go completely crazy and try and get like a super duper optimal setup, like 120 attack by this point, to absolutely destroy the boss. That's not the point. What this is supposed to be a guide on how to get through the game, even if you have like semi-par RNG. Like, you can get through it, it's just sort of slow. But as you can see, I'm only dealing 100 damage, but Burger, as I like to call him, he's actually Gormond, I believe his name is. Burger has a weak spot right at the bottom of his stack. It's of onions. I can't really say. Is it onions or bacon or donuts? I have no idea. It's probably like spiky donuts. But as you can see, all you have to do with him is just sit and shoot. Don't ask me about the reply flies. I absolutely hate them. I think they're probably the worst enemy in the entire game for the noise you're probably hearing them make. I completely hate them. They make the noise. I believe the melters make the noise as well. I don't understand what noise it is or why they did it, but it's probably one of the most annoying noises I've ever heard in a video game, honestly. But yeah, there's not really much to talk about, unfortunately. I wish I could, but it's really just shooting his torso or whatever it is and just destroying it. So I guess I want to leave a question to you guys, if anybody's even watching this. What is your favorite area in this game? Like I said mine is Cookunia because of the fact you spend so much time here. But for music, it's definitely what's the name? Obsoleta. Obsoleta is probably my favorite theme in the whole entire game. It's so it's not energetic, but it's like it takes the tone of what the area should be. Like, I know some of the other themes are really good, but Giminions is always, or Giminion, Obsolete is something I always default to, which I love. So, you can see, Cookunia is completely done. Now, that is not the end of the tutorial, my friends. Just like Neo 2. The other one's going to be more straightforward, but For Neo 2, what you have to, or for Obsolete, excuse me, or Obsolete. For Cookunia, you do have to go to the plaza to view a cutscene with Molly and Keely, who are not playable characters, unfortunately, and they're probably not going to be for DLC, but I digress. You just have to go back to Cookunia, and as you saw earlier, I did grab the gate for the 3-star market. This is mandatory, because if you do not, you have to run through the whole entire area again. Like, for Neo 2, we don't have to get the gate. 20 years is optional, but this one is basically mandatory. You do need to get this gate, because it will put you right next to the maintenance area. So as you can see, I'm right there, and that is the maintenance area, right there. Now all you have to do is just dash through it. If you've completed the stage before, then you can just dash through it. It's not terrible. Why am I saying it's difficult? It's not difficult. It's just the problem is you want to go in as a single CPU. Because if you do not, you have to wait for your VTuber partner. I wanted to show that because you do not want to go into portals with a VTuber. Because if the other one is way behind, you're going to have to wait the whole entire time for that other VTuber to appear. I did that like 3 times in the speedrun. It made me sad. Anyways, not you here. There's a mandatory area. There is a super duper reply fly that is level 30. You need at least 100 attack, or, well, 90 or 100 attack to deal ample damage to it. It's the only enemy that you need to deal ample damage to. You only need to do it once in this mandatory area. Let's see if I have enough. I do just enough. Like, 40 is decent. I would say probably, preferably 70. Preferably 70 to deal damage enough. Because of the fact that, again, they're really small, and they make the most annoying sound. That's why I hate them. Like, they're the not the worst enemy in the game, but they have so many variants, it's kind of ridiculous just hearing the same sound over and over again for like 3 different enemies. But once you complete this mandatory area, that you've leveled up, once you complete this mandatory area, it is time to get to grinding. Now, once you grind, you can either go to the left, and that will lead you over there, which will then lead you over to, as you can see over there, a cake area with a monitor. That is where you can get V-Cubes. V-Cube, you already know what V-Cubes are, but it's usually the rotation that I go right around, to the left, up, then towards the, well, go to the cube, get the cube first, I'll show you. Get the cube from over there, then come back around this way. Go to the area over here, which has more melters. Come back down this way, grab the cube, and then exit out. That's usually the way I go. So I'll show you in depth. So make sure you have a CPU with a emote sphere up equipped, and they will gain a lot of emote spheres. Now I forget who was the one that well, not invented, but who's the one that found out the whole entire method of grinding this area. I may have to look it up, but if you are watching this, thank you very much for coming up with the method. But basically, you come with an emote sphere up equipped CPU, you go into a live, you click the square button a whole bunch of times, and a whole bunch of emote spheres will start popping up. So as you see, I currently have 49,000. That's going to quadruple. I can promise you. Almost. Probably going to quadruple. Very iffy, because again I only have 1 emote sphere. But as you can see right now, it's already doubled. I'm already at 86,000 emote spheres. 86,700 to take that. I knew it was going to cost. So I'm almost at 120,000 emote spheres. Now the trick to this is you want to deal as less damage as possible. So if you have any cubes that reduce your CPU's attack, this is the time to use them. But as long as you have 1 emote sphere up on your team, you will gain an inordinate amount of emotes. As you can currently see right now, I've basically almost quintupled the amount of emotes here that came in. So that's kind of ridiculous, but the CPU is defeated. At the end of this live, it actually does like a decent amount of damage to actually destroy the enemy. I didn't think I destroyed all the melters. Yeah, I see I left one, but I still left with 264,000 emotes, which is kind of ridiculous. But as you also want to do in this area, if you do not have a live after that point, you do want to destroy these reply files, or at least some of them, to make sure that you get emote spheres so that you can get another life. It's going to be slow at first because again you don't actually have enough attack to deal, but that's fine. Oh no, it's my favorite VTuber person to get in this whole entire game. Pompo guy. Oh, please tell me it's actually worth it. No, it's not, because it's only worth life and Tokimeki attack. Wait, was that attack? No, I don't think it was attack, right? No, yeah, it was life. I was gonna say it was like 87 attack, I'm like, no. But basically, it's again one of those cubes that you want to throw into Vert and be like, oh, yay, now I have 15 life. Oh my goodness. I have a ton of life. But basically, what you want to do is then go over here, go to this area, do the melters again. You won't destroy all. Like, for the first portion, you will not destroy all of them. Cubes do not have enough attack. For some reason, they have insane amounts of health. But if you're able to get, I'd say roughly 600,000 emote spheres, and then leave and come back after doing the mandatory area again, then you'll be almost level 20, you'll have about 130, 140 attack, you'll be able to destroy the reply flies, and then you can stay here, I'd say roughly until like level 24? That sounds like a long way, but right now I'm already level 16 as evidence of the emote spheres. Like if I get like at least 600,000 emote spheres and then I get the upgrades and I still have the overflowing energies from the other bosses, I should be level 16. That's what I should have mentioned at the beginning. If you have the chance to use overflowing energies, use them as soon as possible, because it can get confusing towards the end of the run or towards the end of a dungeon if you don't have overflowing energies. If you do not know what those are, they're right here. They give you extra levels. Like, it's a free level guaranteed. It's like a rare candy. So basically do that. I'm level 15. I should be over 100 attack now. I am at exactly 100. Never mind. I am exactly at 100 attack. So, this is a skip. You can go around this way and you can go down if you're not confident enough. What I usually do is I double jump, switch, double dash, and dash down. And you can get to this area and then you can skip around, double jump again, double dash, and you're over to this section again already. Then you can grab your second cube, which is going to take a little bit. Again, I don't have enough attack. Once you do grab your extra cube, please let that be a lot of attack. It is. Thank you. Goodbye, Tomari Mari. Hello, Ilhart. You lose a lot of life, but it's not really too much. But then all you have to do is click the map, click move to enter into Cookunia once you press square, and then you get to restart the whole entire process all over again. But this time without the mandatory area. But I'm sort of going to leave it, once I complete this area once again, just to show you how to complete the area once again, I'm going to leave it, leave the episode here and grind to the appropriate level to get to the next area, since I don't want to make this video completely over-bloated. Like, it's probably already is already. It's probably like 15-20 minutes. I'm actually not going to check yet, but if you do not have a live yet, you do want to go to Guest Connect and then click the button, or click the button, but defeat the enemies and get the live. When it says live start, that's when you know you have enough to go to the what is it named? I can't remember, the melters. Goodness me, the insane melters, whatever they're called. So you just want to try and make sure you get alive, and once you do get alive, then you're able to take on the melters and get your emote spheres, which is going to be fun. Now I'm going to destroy these guys, because they do tend to, even on the top one, they do tend to just stay there, and you have to defeat them again. But even if you're low on health, it's not too much of a problem. If you feel you're too low on health, you can just use nano energies. It's basically one life, but I want to make sure I don't die during this, and I have to use a revive. But yeah, as you can see, I'm going to start gaining even more and more emote spheres, and yeah, it's not too much of a problem. Like I said, I'm going to leave it here after I complete this little section, but again, if you did, well, enjoy or find any use in this, I not be. If you found any usefulness in this guide of Cookunia, please, indeed, leave a like, comment. I'm not trying to influence the algorithm, I'm just saying it to say it, since, you know, interaction is good for the video itself, and I don't know. See, I'm not into this YouTube stuff. I just went into it so I can, you know, chronicleize a speedrun that most people haven't actually touched. I believe the only other area in this speedrun, well, in this game, is the any percent trophies run. Like the any percent all trophies, which is a run that was completed a while ago as well. And that is an example of getting a duplicate cube. You do not want duplicate cubes. They're completely useless, they don't do anything for you, it sucks. But as you can see, unfortunately, that just means you have to move on and accept the failure of getting Pompoko for like the 17th time. Unfortunate, I know. But hopefully the other cube does give me good luck, and I can use that to sort of end the video on a high note. Not a complete high note, but on a high note, because I didn't think I'd get through Cookunia this fast. I didn't think 90, or I believe it was 89 attack was enough, but because of the amount of PMKM, which is the rate at which the meter around the enemy, you know, the peak meter that you see in the middle of an enemy, that goes up as fast, it allows you to deal a ton of damage to that area and stun the enemy for a little while so you can deal extra damage to them. Now, some bosses have a unique state for that, some enemies have a unique state for that, but for the most part, all you really need is just that. Dokimeku kill meter is just there as a bonus, and it only applies to the final boss of the game. So, I'm nearing 800,000 emotes here, so I didn't destroy 2 of them, it makes me sad. But, yes, so we are going to end it here. Again, if you did enjoy, make sure to comment, like, and possibly subscribe to the channel. I don't mind if you don't. You can choose to if you want to. I know I'm a bumbling mess at this point. But, ooh, peanuts. Yay! Pompoko and peanuts. Fantastic. But again, if you did enjoy this little portion of Cookunia, well, the speedrun of Cookunia, please leave a like, comment, subscribe. And I will see you guys later.